Hi, in the continuation of our topic to basics of statistics, let's now move forward for two types of statistics. First of all, we need to understand what is statistics before we can discuss about the different types of statistics. So, statistics is a way to get the information from the data. Like we have a lot of data in our day-to-day life. If you see, a lot of data is being generated whenever a customer is going to the shopping mall. The data is generating of what he has purchased. Whenever somebody is going to the airport, the data is generated of each and every check-in or boarding, when and at what time the particular person has checked in and boarded the flight. There are different events on which the data is generated. All the online shopping websites are having a lot of data about its customers and the previous orders that the customers has generated. So we want to use this data and extract some meaningful information out of it. So statistics is a tool for creating an understanding from that particular data and get some meaningful information from that particular data. There are some key statistical concepts. One is population, sample, parameter, statistic, and independent variable and dependent variable. Let me go through these one by one. What is the population? Population means all the individuals in a group. For example, if you are doing a study about the customers shopping pattern, how they are purchasing. So instead of having all the population and studying that population means all the customers and all the orders that have been placed till now on our shopping website. So might be there are millions of the customers, so it is not feasible all the time that we are having the data of all the millions of the customers and then process it. Might be it is difficult to process it, it will take a lot of time, and also it will take a lot of effort to collect that data. Sometimes even it is not possible to collect the data. Okay, so in that case we will use the sample. So what is a sample? Sample is some selected portion of the population that we have selected for doing the research based on the sample, but we are doing it on the population. So sample is a small portion of the population. So population is very large, potentially very large, but sample is not that much large, but it is enough that we can do our study on that. Now what is the parameter? If we are doing some analysis and research using the population and getting some values like mean, median, mode, or some any other statistical characteristic that we have defined using the population, then it is called a parameter. Okay, but if we are defining the characteristic about the sample, we are having the access to the sample and we are getting the research and doing the research on the sample and taking like say mean, median, mode, standard deviation and any other statistical analysis, then these particular values will be called the statistic about the sample. So whenever we are talking and doing a research on the population, we are getting the parameter, and whenever we are doing our research and analysis on the sample, then we are having statistic. There are two more important concepts like independent variable and dependent variable. Independent variable are those variables which are not dependent on like its value is not dependent on any other variable. For example, we are doing the impact of height on the weight of the students. So like if we are checking that if the height of a student is 5 feet, then what should be the weight of it? So because in this particular case we are deriving and we want to calculate the weight based on the height, then height is the independent variable. The value of the height can be anything in a particular range, but here the weight is a dependent variable. Why? Dependent variable means the value of the dependent variable is being calculated from another variable. Here the weight is being calculated from another variable, that is called height. So weight is being calculated from the height, so it means height is independent and dependent variable is weight. Here is some pictorial representation of the difference between a population and a sample, so that you have some better understanding of it. Okay, now coming to the two types of the statistics. In statistics, there are two types. One is called descriptive statistics. Second is inferential statistics. There is a major difference between these two that we will discuss now. In descriptive statistics, we are having the methods to organize, summarize, and present data in a convenient and informative way. It is having some graphical techniques. It is having some numerical techniques for that. The actual method used depend on what information we would like to extract. So it can be anything, like we might take a method to take a mean, or we might take a method to take a standard deviation. So all it depends on the different kind of case study and the problem that we want to resolve. So in descriptive statistics, there are two main things that we do. One is measure of central location, and that is done by taking mean, median, and mode. I will explain you about it. And the second is measure of variability. It is having different kind of analysis like range, IQR, variance, standard deviation, all these things. We will discuss that as well. Now, what is descriptive statistics? I have put a pictorial representation for you as well, so you can refer to it. That it is all about mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and all these things. Now coming towards the inferential statistics. Now what is that? Actually, descriptive statistics describes the data set that is being analyzed. It only describing it, but it doesn't allow us to draw any meaningful conclusion about the data, and the management cannot take any decision based on that. So we need some another approach or another branch of statistics to take some decision, or to enable the management so that they can take some decision. So there is another branch called inferential statistics. It's also another set of methods, but it is used to draw conclusions or inferences about the characteristics of population based on data from a sample. I will give you an example for that. So statistical reference talks about making an estimate in future. What do you think about any prediction like that for the future? And if you want to take a decision, the management want to take a decision, so you use inferential statistics in these particular areas. Thanks a lot for joining us, and please stay tuned so that I can take it further for the next session. Thanks once again.